counted through the canvass period that will follow the election day. If you'd like to make arrangements to have a tour or have access to anything during election night, please contact our election division media specialist. Her phone number is 213-978-3281. Following election day, we will begin our election canvass process. This process is an internal audit required by state law to ensure the accuracy of our election results. During this time, which will begin on March 6th, the day following the election, we will complete this process no later than March 26th of 2013. We're 21 days to complete our canvass. During the canvass period, all the VBM and provisional ballots that were not counted on election night will be researched to validate their eligibility and included into the count where they were eligible. And in addition, during the canvass period, we will do the roster reconciliation, look at all the voters that voted in the precincts and confirm that those numbers are accurate, and also perform a 1% manual tally to confirm our counts on election night. The canvass will conclude with our certification of the results, and those will be the official election results. So that concludes our prepared comments. We are available for questions, and in addition, we also have multilingual staff that's available to answer questions if there are members who would prefer to have their questions answered in different language. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to know if you would be able to illustrate how someone would perform a write-in.
Yes, other writing candidates wanted to ask the same
one of the
question,
writing candidates, and also if that would also be posted, an illustration of how they should perform that on social media and the website.
The instructions do include information on how to provide to select a writing candidate.
Can you show us?
Yeah, could you walk them through since we've got the meeting?
Yeah, we'd be happy to walk through that process.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seems like you forget to write in sometimes.
We never forget to write.
Whatever happened to some of the candidates?
So, Maria Garcia, our manager for the outreach section, is holding up an example of a ballot. The top portion of that ballot includes the area where a voter would choose a write-in candidate. Let me make it very clear that all write-in candidates, the list of write-in candidates who have applied, who are eligible to be considered as the election, multiple copies will be available at every single precinct. That information will also be posted on our website. So if a voter would like to select a write-in candidate, they can get that list directly from the poll worker if they don't already know who they want to include. They would write in the race for which the candidate is going to be being considered for, and write in the name of that candidate. We will then, that write-in portion will stay with the ballot, and it will be counted through our election counting and canvass process. So.
You stated
yes.
that we're voting for many races. Why don't we just vote for the human race? That's all we need.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay, it's a little election joke, sorry.
No, it's a good joke.
Actually, my question is very important. I've been a writing candidate before, and I know the certified list should be right in front of the signature book. There's been several times during state elections and city elections that it's not been there. When I ran for state senate in 2010, I did qualify to be a write-in candidate and made it to the finals. Now the thing was, there were several precincts that didn't have it. So what are you going to ensure that your inspectors are trained to make sure it's in front of that book?
And your name, sir?
William Rodriguez Morrison.
Yes. What are you going to do about that for the writing candidates, sir?
The proper table setup is included in all of our training materials and during our poll worker training. So all of our poll workers, it's mandatory that they attend training, and during our training and all the materials that poll workers receive, they are informed of the correct way to set up their table. As I mentioned, the list of write-in candidates will be included, multiple copies at every single in our polling place supplies, which we're assembling right now. And so that information will be available for all the voters and will be available in the appropriate location based on our training procedures.
Do you think the Justice Department should be notified of voting irregularities related to write-in candidates in the past in Los Angeles? I'm talking about the United States Justice Department.
Sir, I think that's a little bit off topic.
Well, I'm just saying that I feel that that gentleman feels that there was voting irregularities, and I'm a write-in candidate, and I want to make sure that doesn't happen.
Well, you can call this number,
Can
right?
you
The
quote-
whistleblower hotline.
What are you going to do to guarantee that the write-in candidates will get their votes recorded?
As I've indicated, all of our procedures are set up to ensure that we are consistently and accurately following all the requirements related to the laws for every single element of our campaign, related to of our election, related to write-in candidates, and everything else that we're required to do. It's incredibly important to us that we execute an election that is transparent, that is done correctly. It's a primary responsibility of our office, and it's something that we focus on 100% of our time. We strive to have elections that have no irregularities, and we will continue to do that. Yes.
So is it possible for people who have any kind of concern, not just related to write-in candidates, to contact the League of Women Voters or the Election Protection Hotline to report any concerns that they have so that they can be properly investigated and so that there can be some feedback? Certainly the public can call places just to report any
Absolutely.
concerns
There's
that
a
they
wealth
have.
of resources that's available
Right.
to oversee the processes that we do. We obviously do our best to make sure that there aren't problems, but there certainly are a variety of resources available for people if they do have concerns
Right.
about the way that the elections have been.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is confused on voting by mail. I noticed one person asked me how I can identify the people who's writing for the city council on the ballot, because they don't appear on the pamphlet they sent it to the voter by mail. It doesn't appear the persons who's running for city council in a specific district. They see the mayor, they see city attorney, and see this city college, but in the other hand, they don't see who's running for city council, and that's what some of the constituents approach me and say, you guys, they don't appear as a city council, how can I vote that? So I have to indicate it how, but eventually, people, they don't understand the procedures that you guys have. I believe should you have that pamphlet reflecting all the candidates that are in that specific district so that people, they don't get confused.
Right. So when we prepare the pamphlets that go out to voters to vote by mail, they do include all of the races that those voters are eligible to vote on. In this election that we're having, in which the odd number of council districts are up for election, not all Angelinos will have the opportunity to vote on a council race. It may be, without having a specific case in front of us, I can't speak to it, but it may be that the people who you're speaking with are in one of the districts, one of the even number districts for which there is no council race. Our pamphlet would not include their ability for them to vote on a race that they're not eligible to vote on.
So eventually, we're gonna lose some votes. If the person is gonna specific of a certain individual, you're not gonna able to vote on by mail, because they get confused. If we don't appear on that pamphlet, definitely they're not gonna able to vote, because